Good evening, everyone. My name is Ryan Tunnell, middle school band director here. The group you have in front of you is the 7th graders. They've had a fantastic year. We worked on a lot of material. In 7th grade, when we get to the mass band music, in 6th grade, it's pretty challenging music, and so we kind of nitpick here and there, grab little pieces of each song and we can kind of play. But once we get to 7th grade, I'm like, we need to play most of this. So they've had a really challenging year putting together a lot of music. Tonight's kind of unique. Usually when I program for the spring, we will do 3 numbers, but both groups have really progressed a lot faster than I anticipated, and so both groups are going to do 5 numbers for you tonight. Our first one is Bermuda Triangle, and in the program I pushed home, the little picture on the 7th grade page is the Bermuda Triangle, as in like the spooky place where ships and planes go down. And then the other one is just like the Bermuda Islands. And so I'm not sure if the title means the spooky thing or the wonderful island. And then our soloist will be playing the triangle. So not sure, I'll leave that up to you to decide. Our first student is Bermuda Triangle. While the percussion's getting set up for the next one, I wanted to take a moment to recognize a couple students that have earned a really great opportunity this summer. The Kenneth and Evelyn Pickney Foundation has awarded 3 scholarships to students to attend the Bemidji Music Summer Camp this summer. And I would love it if the 3 students would please just stand when I say their name, and we can just give them a quick round of applause. Colin Schlangen, Brenna Jackson, and Wyatt Peterson. Very awesome. And I just want a quick thank you to Patricia Pickney, Dwight Nelson, and Todd Peterson for their help in getting all that stuff done, getting these kids off to that wonderful camp. So our next title is Mount Hood Portrait. If you do remember Masked Band, we did play this there. One of the things I like to do, because it's such a quick turnaround with our winter concert followed by the Masked Band, is sometimes it can be really tricky to get all the little things you'd love to get done on a piece, just make it the best it can be in that amount of time. So a lot of times I'll hold on to a piece, just work on those final details and just get it as perfect as we can. So we're gonna play for you again tonight, Monk Hood Portrait. All right, the next title is 1,000 Years, made very famous by a series of vampire and werewolf books. The Twilight series, many of you know it. This is Christina Perry's 1,000 Years. You will know this too. All right, now we're going to take it old school, really old school. Oh, Mozart. His 40th Symphony is probably one of his most famous works. You know, as we, as directors, are always thinking about what is it we'd like our students to learn. And even though the Heartland Symphony Orchestra is here, right, we have a great opportunity. The St. Francis Chamber Orchestra is here. It's students being exposed to classical literature just isn't happening as easy as it used to. And so I always like to try and find a little piece here or there to throw at them. When I handed it out, we were kind of for a few days, and there was a lot of moaning and groaning. They were not liking it, but I would bet you that they would tell you is one of their favorites. They probably won't tell you it's their favorite. They probably tell you they won't like it, but they sure really enjoy it. They play it with a lot of energy and enthusiasm. I think you're going to enjoy our Mozart Symphony No. 40. All right, our last number is entitled Declaration in Blue. The blue comes from the fact that it's kind of based on the blues scale, so it's going to have a kind of a cool, funky sound to it. It's got a lot of neat percussion, and it features kind of the different instruments throughout the piece, so everyone gets a little chance to shine in this one. After this, we'll have the two bands swap, so there will be just a little bit of a break in between those two, and then we'll continue on with the eighth grade. Hope you enjoy Declaration in Blue. All right, we have a little bit of a treat tonight. I have the 8th grade saxophones are up here. They're gonna play a little number for you. We used to, a long time ago, would feature the different instruments that don't get an opportunity to get kind of showcased in jazz band. And we would have a flute and clarinet choir, and we'd have a percussion ensemble. And getting those things organized post-COVID is a daunting task, but putting this little smaller group together was a little bit easier. So I wanted to kind of just get us back in this habit of having a little ensemble play a little something for us. So tonight they're going to play a tune called Night Train. And for you Back to the Future fans out there, this is from the dance scene. All right, the group we have in front of you now is the 8th grade. I would just like to take one quick moment and announce just something quick that I didn't do last spring. One of those details that got overlooked. So you heard me mention to the 7th graders that had earned a scholarship to attend the Midget Music Camp. And we had that last year, and I just forgot to say their names, so I'm going to recognize them tonight. They didn't know I was going to do this, so they may be reluctant to stand up, but Emma Bonsack, Lily Jelinski, June Lucina, Lily Scott, and Madison Wall all earned a scholarship last summer to go to band camp. And what's even, I think, just as awesome is that the Kenneth and Evelyn Pinckney Foundation has offered those students that went last year a stipend to go again this year. So thank you again, Patricia, Dwight, and Todd, for all the work that you've put into getting these kids to this awesome experience. So, all right, our first tune is entitled Storm Chasing. So you remember last year? Yeah? Yeah, we remember last year. And so when this piece, it was a piece that the students did at their the Midget Music Camp. And they came back and I asked them, I said, was there a song you really enjoyed playing? And like, oh, we loved Storm Chasing, it's super cool. So I was like, cool, let's see if the band would like to play it. So I ordered it, we listened to it. I ordered it, but it got back ordered. We were gonna play it on the fall concert, but we couldn't get it in until December. And so I was like, well, let's still do it. And so here we are, celebrating maybe last year's storm. I don't know, it's fate that this ended up working out like this, but Storm Chasing. So this is a piece that some of the students played last summer. It's a wonderful piece. I hope you enjoy Storm Chasing. here I am again trying to class up the joint. We're gonna do another classical piece. Same thing. A lot of moaning and groaning. I'm gonna tell you, when I went to go, all right, I will let the kids pick the order we're gonna rehearse that day. There were a lot of kids that got excited when like Cavalry Overture was picked. This is an awesome piece, and they play it very well. You're gonna enjoy some classical music. So this February, we had a chance to, I had a chance to take some students to the UMD honor band. They were take 4 students up there this year. And we had the guest conductor for one of the ensembles was Robert Sheldon. And so, prolific writer for band, does a lot of wonderful things that's age appropriate for beginners, middle level like this, and older students like high school students and even college. And kind of the same thing when I asked the kids, you know, when we got done, what were some of the titles that you really enjoyed? This was one of them that came up, and I just love programming slow music. I don't know if there's something in this unique place, but man, these kids can play slow music. For those of you that were at the 5th and 6th grade concert the other night, Mrs. Gold said it's really hard to play slow. It is super hard to play slow, to keep everyone together and have everyone have that internal sense of pulse. But these kids do a wonderful job in this quiet place. All right, we got some more outstanding kids to recognize. I don't remember how long ago it was now. 2007 is when I started this award. It's called the Outstanding Achievement Award, and what it is students that have passed so far in our listening book series. We have 2 books that we like to see our middle school students, elementary and music students work through, middle school students work through. And then we get to the high school level, there's just a different series of books, and it's definitely more challenging for those students. And there's 2 books in that series. And so I started an award when I had a student not only get the first book, the second book done, but they also got the first high school book done, which is typically what we'd like to see our 9th and 10th graders work on, done still here at the middle school. We had 3 students this year accomplish that, and I'd like them to stand and we'll recognize them. Mason Ellingson, Elise LaFlamme, and Connor Coster. So you create an award, right? And then somebody asks, well, what happens if you get the second book done? And then I had somebody do that. And so tonight, we're gonna recognize the 3rd person to have completed the first book, the second book, the first high school book, and the second high school book, all within their middle school career. And that is Mason Ellingson. No money tied to it also. All right, our next number is entitled Hercules versus the Hydra. This is one of the ones that I had students in both one ensemble and some in the other. And so I asked each group which one did they like. And this is the one that came from the other group. This is one that was done at the UMB Honor Band. It's a composition by Scott Watson. He writes some really energetic and great stuff for young musicians, and sounds really, really mature. I mean, I think you're gonna really enjoy our Hercules versus the Hydra.
At this time, a few of his 8th graders are going to say a few things about Mr. Tennant.
I'm Lily Jelinski, and I currently play 3 instruments: clarinet, bass clarinet, and tenor saxophone. I've been in band for 4 years, and 3 of them with Mr. Tennant. I was lucky enough to have Mr. Tennant as my advisor for my 3 years here at the middle school, and through those years, I learned so much more than I thought I ever would. I thought being across the country in middle school would be like living in a horror movie, like losing friendships I loved, or being bullied out of my own interest. But to my surprise, I came into the middle school to see Mr. Tennant. I can't figure out a way to thank you enough for everything you've done, for not only me, but everyone around you. You're an inspiration, and I will never forget how many things you pushed me to do, like learn I didn't want to and perform 3 instruments. Throughout my middle school years, I've learned plenty of things from Mr. Tennant, like playing every day may not be fun, but we'll bring our band closer together. Whereas everyday dad jokes, even when he says them twice in a class period because he forgot he already shared it with us. I remember in 7th grade when we all begged to play warm-ups in the dark because we wanted to be like the 8th graders. But the best part is, we are the 8th graders now, and hopefully the 6th and 7th graders look up to us. I sadly couldn't achieve the one thing I wanted most in middle school, which was to get my name on the plaque, but Mr. Tennant made it way more possible by pushing me to try my hardest. The things I'm going to miss most are definitely Mr. Tennant and all the things he sacrificed for us as a band, or how many times he let us have a free day because we weren't feeling like playing. I remember last year in our last 7th period concert, we watched as the 8th graders went up and talked about Mr. Tennant the way we are tonight, except we know we are your favorite and better 8th graders. The biggest reason why I'm up here today is because of Mr. Tennant. And this is my way of thanking you, not only for being a cool teacher, but for everything. You're truly my favorite teacher and most definitely always will be. I'm honored that I was able to be taught by you for these 3 years. I promise I will be coming back to visit, but I will make sure to come back to visit my senior year just to hear that I was your favorite student.
Hi everyone, I'm Emma Larson. I play French horn and I've been in band for 4 years, 3 of which have been with Mr. Tennant, and honestly, those have been probably the best 3 years of my life. Throughout my life leading up to middle school, and I'm sure many of us have experienced this, I was told that middle school was a scary place where friendships were broken and where people failed their classes. And I was super nervous to come here, but Mr. Tennant's my advisor, so when I first got to the middle school, the first thing I experienced was Mr. Tennant. I wish everyone could have Mr. Tennant as an advisor because he's super helpful and fun, and he cares so much about the kids he teaches, and he makes sure that everyone is okay no matter what. He gives his heart and soul to his teaching, and it definitely shows based off the smiles everyone has coming from in class. I've learned so much from Mr. Tennant about music, about life, and of course I've learned many dad jokes too. If I had to sum up Mr. Tennant in a word or 2, I guess it'd be role model. Because even when we were stubborn or loud or just antsy in class, Mr. Tennant would just take a breath and do his thing, and sure enough, we'd be playing our favorite song 5 minutes later. Mr. Tennant has taught me to always be optimistic and to make the most of the moments you're in and to make memories. So I want to thank you, Mr. Tennant, for all the moments we've shared and the memories we've made. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Justina. I've also been playing in band for 4 years and 3 with Mr. Tennant. Within those years, I played clarinet and tenor saxophone. I remember one of the first days of band in 6th grade, he gave us what's called a 6th grade speech. One of my favorite things he shares is that I will not judge you on your past. Another one he says that I like is, you are my kids, I care about you, and if you need anything, I'm here for you. Being the scared little 6th grader that I was, those kind words made every one of us feel like we belonged. I can also remember at the end of the year concert, some of the 8th grade students gave a speech, and I never thought much about it until it was me giving one. It's crazy how time flies so fast, and how the practices that felt like hours, all of a sudden feel like distant memories. Throughout the years with him, not only did he teach us our band lessons, but he taught us our life lessons. He taught us that being ourselves is okay and our interests matter. Mr. Tennant has always been there for me, even on my bad days, and even though they were a little cringy, his dad jokes never failed to make us laugh. But after all the laughs, long band practices, and memories, I'm honored to have Mr. Tennant as one of my band teachers, and he is and always will be my favorite.